And there it is. The moment that the WNBA's biggest asset may have just become the biggest liability. That's Caitlin Clark in tears, clutching a groin that has suddenly become the most watched body part in American sports. Some will say this wasn't just an injury, it was an inevitability. And for a league that has been hammered by critics for refusing to protect its generational star, this is the find out moment they were warned about. A moment that now threatens the biggest event on their entire calendar. It all went down late in the fourth quarter against the Connecticut Sun. A simple pass, a totally routine play, and then a grimace that sent a jolt through the entire league. Caitlin Clark came up hobbled, grabbing the inside of her leg, her face twisted in pain as she limped through the length of the court. The images were tough to watch if you really want to see, which we'll get to in a minute, because Clark, the player who has personally lifted the WNBA to a whole new level, leaned her head against the basket stanchion, completely overcome with emotion before burying her face in a towel on the bench. As you guys can see on the article, it says teary-eyed Caitlin Clark suffers fourth injury in 3 months. Fever have learned to play without her and may have to again. And if we scroll down, this is the play I was talking about that have raised all the concern. There you have it, right? And take it a step further, Caitlin Clark's brother, Colin, alludes to roughing playing made a role in her injury. And he tweeted, make no mistake, this is on the reffing. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. And then here goes a doctor. And it says, Caitlin Clark appears to have re-aggravated her right abductor slash groin strain. The tricky part about the groin strains is that they are very slow healing tissue, easy to re-injure and constantly required for anything involving the legs. Sometimes even shutting them down for a couple weeks isn't enough. I've had good luck with injecting these specifically at where the adductor, usually longus, tendon attaches to the pubic bone with stem cells. Idly, allografts, a weaker and inflammatory options like PRP are usually not strong enough and cause too much downtime. These are quite common in NFL players. Hint, hint, NFL players. Mind you, she's beginning her body going through all of this unnecessary physicality, over aggression. We can say street ball style of play from opponents going against her on the opposite team, and the refs are doing nothing. Resorts back to her brother Colin's statement of how this is on the refs, right? And it says, whatever the medical staff is doing right now is unfortunately not enough. Unfortunately, right? And this is her holding back tears, towel over her head, true trooper, trying to just get through it, man. Just trying to stay sane and all and make sense of it all, I could imagine. And family, the image were tough to watch. I'm sure you guys seen her so devastated that she is right now in this image. Tough to watch. So Clark, the player, she personally lifted the WNBA to a whole new level, leaned her head against the stanchion. And this wasn't a new pain. Like I said, after a rookie season of incredible durability, where she never missed a game, Clark's sophomore year has been a brutal grind. She's already missed 9 regular season games this season with quad and groin strains, 10 if you include the Commissioner's Cup final. The latest injury of regravitation immediately throws her status for the upcoming All-Star game in Indianapolis into serious doubt. And let's be real, this isn't just any All-Star game. It's the Caitlin Clark All-Star game. Hosted in her home arena, Gainbridge Fieldhouse. She was named a team captain after racking up massive number of fan votes. She was lined up for the three-point contest, the one event fans have been dying to see her in. The entire weekend was built around her. The buzz, the ticket sales, the media frenzy, it was all riding on the league's biggest star being there. Now, all of that is hanging by a thread of a strained groin muscle. For the league, the timing is flat out catastrophic. This weekend was supposed to be a celebration, a coronation. Instead, it's a crisis. And the worst part, so many people saw this coming. To understand how we got here, you have to look at the environment Caitlin Clark has played in since day one. This is a player who never missed a single game due to injury in her college career at Iowa or in her entire rookie season. Yet her pro career has been marked by a level of physicality that has sparked a massive season long debate. From the jump, the welcome wagon from some players has included hip checks, hard screens, and off ball shoves. While some of that is just tough basketball, a narrative has been growing all year among fans and media that the refs have failed to draw a line between physical and dangerous. Fever head coach Stephanie White acknowledged the strange standard, stating there's a level of physicality never before. She admitted it, even take it a step further in her rookie season. Christy Sides, ex-former coach of the Indiana Fever, her first year in the WNBA. She said there's a level of physicality that they're able to play with against her, and I'm not exactly sure why. It is just what it is. And this created a huge pain point for anyone watching. The feeling that there's a double standard. Plays that look like obvious fouls on Clark are sometimes ignored, with her own frustrated reactions can get a quick technical foul. It's fueled a firestorm of criticism online, with countless people arguing that the refs are failing to protect their most valuable asset. This frustration isn't just from fans either. After one particular rough game, Coach Sides back then was blunt enough to say, I started talking to the officials in the first quarter, and we knew this was going to happen. They got to get control of it. They got to be better. Even stars from other teams, like Minnesota's Nafisa Kalir, have called out the officiating, saying, I don't think it's consistent. I think every player would say that. I think it's getting worse. It's the biggest debate in the league right now. So I want to know what you think in the comments. Has the officiating been fair to Caitlin Clark this season, or is this a clear double standard of a play, or a double standard at play, I should say? When these concerns about officiating and player safety made their way to the league's top office, the response from Commissioner Kathleen Engelbert was seen by many as, well, pretty dismissive. Instead of validating the concerns, Engelbert dropped a quote that just poured gasoline on the fire, saying, I don't find it interesting when you sit in a chair I sit in that no winning team ever complained about officiating. No losing team ever doesn't complain about officiating, she said. And that comment landed with a thud. It comes across as a complete brush off of the worries voiced by multiple coaches, players, and huge part of the league's new fan base. This wasn't just losing teams complaining. It was a league-wide issue. By framing it as sour grapes, the commissioner seemed out of touch with what was happening on the court. But officiating is just one of the pieces of the puzzle. The league also expanded its schedule to a grueling 40 regular season games in 2025, the longest in its history. That move has been openly criticized by the players themselves. Dallas Wings star Satu Sabali called the condensed schedule not really responsible from a commissioner after her team had to gut out a brutal 9 games in 18 days. And the players are feeling a physical toll, which is fueling speculation in the WNBA Players Association, maybe gearing up for a major fight over the CBA on issues like recovery time and scheduling. It all paints of a league administration that seems at odds with its own players, and one that has to seemingly ignore warnings about burnout. And now the consequences of the alleged neglect are here in the form of Caitlin Clark's injury. And this is the definition of the find out moment. For over a season, critics have argued that the league has been messing around by allegedly letting the physicality run wild, brushing off officiating concerns, and pushing players' bodies to the limit with a punishing schedule. Now they are finding out the most immediate consequence is the potential implosion of their All-Star weekend. Without Clark, the event loses its main attraction. Well, loses its main attraction. The viewership, the media coverage, the sponsorship money, all of it's now at risk. It's a potential financial and marketing disaster that was completely foreseeable. But the long term implications are even more terrifying because growing injuries are notoriously difficult because they linger. An athlete can feel fine, get back out there, and then one sharp move, one change of direction, and boom, and they're right back to square one with the same searing pain. The idea of managing that kind of chronic issue is a scary thought for any player, but for someone like Clark, whose game is built in on explosive long range shooting and constant motion, it's a potential career altering problem. This isn't just about one All Star game. This injury could impact the entire future of the league that is increasingly dependent on her. This has led to growing chatter online with some action if NBA and Adam Silver might need to take a more active role. While it's far from a far formal movement, the fact that the conversation is even happening shows how serious the situation has become. The find out moment for Kathy Engelbert may not just be a ratings dip, it could be a challenge to her leadership. And Caitlin Clark's injury wasn't just a freak accident. It feels like the climax of a story that has been writing itself all season long. It was a result of a league that, in the eyes of its critics, found a golden goose and chose to see how much roughhousing it could take before it broke. And they were warned by coaches, by players, and by fans about the officiating in the schedule, and the response was perceived as indifference. Now, with their biggest star in tears and their marquee event hanging in the balance, the WNBA is facing the consequences. The league is in a tough spot, caught between the massive potential and a leadership crisis that threatens to undo its incredible progress. And that question isn't if they would face a reckoning, but just how damaging it will be. What do you think the future holds? Will the WNBA finally wake up and make the changes needed to protect its players, or is it time for new leadership to step in? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Love you guys. Peace.